Well, welcome back to Our Community. Susie Thomas visiting with Amanda Ann Schutz. She's from Compassion Delivered. You know, let's remind everybody, because there are so few tickets left. Let's get back to the fundraiser happening in October. Tell us what to look forward to.
Yes, so October 18th, which is a Friday night from 6 to 10 at the Courtyard Marriott, is our second annual Be the Change Gala. And that night you're going to have delicious food, and there'll be baskets to be able to bid on and some live auction items for us to share our story and what we've been doing here in our community and helping us raise some money so we can continue to do that and look to the future, because we have some big plans ahead of us, and we want to make sure that we can get those accomplished.
How do we get tickets?
So you can either go online to our website, which is compassiondelivered.org, and there's a little button up in the corner for tickets, or you can call us, which is 330-575-0996. And then the last way to do it is you can go on to Facebook, of course, if you're into the social media age, and there's a link in there to be able to purchase tickets. So they're only $50 a piece, so pretty inexpensive. And
money well spent.
Absolutely.
And it will be an amazing fun time.
It'll be a lot of fun.
You know, I look at you, and we've talked about hospice a little bit and how you work alongside hospice. What you do is very close to that kind of a calling and that kind of ministry, because you are working with people during end of life in many cases.
Absolutely.
Sometimes not. Sometimes people graduate out of hospice, and wouldn't you love to hear someone say, I'm fine, don't need your meals anymore?
I would.
But
yeah.
So often it's not that way. It's got to be tough, Amanda. How do you deal with becoming so close to so many people and losing so many friends?
Absolutely. So right now, the families we've helped, we have lost 65% of them. And that's a huge number in 3 years, you know, to think about that. That's the number that, you know, that have lost the battle, you know, but they really haven't lost the battle. They've
won the battle.
Won the battle, I should say. And so, you know, for us, I have an amazing board. You know, our board is very supportive. We're very close. Everybody on the board has experienced loss in some shape or form. And so they get it. You know, we all kind of understand each other without needing to actually say that we are going through that. But for us personally, you know, seeking out counseling and just seeking out people who can kind of walk this journey with us, because it is hard. You know, like I said in the beginning, you know, they're clients on a piece of paper that start with us, but then in the end, you know, they're friends and family. You know, this is like walking along if it could have been my aunt or if it could have been my grandfather. And so it's very hard. You know, this has been a hard year and loss for us, because the beginning of 2019, we had a tremendous loss in amount of clients within a short amount of time. And you kind of just take a step back and go, can I handle this? But honestly, God has called us to do this. And that's where my hope and faith lie, and that God's going to walk me through this, you know, no matter what is going on. And he gives me strength, not me. It's not personal. It's him, because none of this is possible without him. And so he really has given me, you know, strength when I have just said, Lord, I don't know how much more I can do. This is tough. And he just says, but it'll be okay.
Isn't that something, how he fills in those gaps? Because to ask you, what's your background, business and communication? Your husband, he's a chef. He's an amazing chef. Neither one of you have social work in that mix. And here you are doing that very thing. So it's so cool that God calls us totally out of our comfort zone sometimes, so that we have to depend on him completely.
And it's crazy to think back, you know, what was life like before we started Compassion Delivered? And I can remember a little bit about it, but, you know, I can't imagine us not doing anything than this right now, because, you know, it's been awesome to watch him work and to watch him, you know, do things. Like it could be just a simple conversation with a client that I just know that God like orchestrated it. Or, you know, when we financially have said, Lord, I don't know how we're going to get a refrigerator or how we're going to meet this need. And ironically enough, a check will arrive or somebody will call and say, hey, I have this item. You know, I just needed to call you and tell you. You know, those are all things God has orchestrated, and he's been amazing, you know, and what an opportunity to meet the families that we've had an opportunity to work with, because we would have never had an opportunity to know them if it wasn't for this moment. And I feel super blessed and honored to be a part of their lives.
You keep an eye open and your finger on the pulse of what is the next need.
Yeah.
And you've really zeroed in on men. Why?
So, as I mentioned in the beginning of this year, we had great loss, and the majority of the individuals who passed away were women. And what we realized very quickly was that it left a lot of men, a lot of sons, a lot of husbands, a lot of fathers kind of just going, what now? I've been the caretaker. I've been the person that's walked alongside them. They've been my life. Now what happens? And what we found is that a lot of men become isolated. They don't necessarily have they don't have the group of individuals like women usually do. Women have their girlfriends, or they have grandkids to pour into, or their jobs, or whatever it might be. And men kind of have poured their lives into their caretakers. And so what we found was that we were left with these men who were just kind of said, now what? And so we have a board member who has been a longtime friend of mine for a long time, and his mom was very sick, and she passed away at the end of February. And shortly after she passed away, he kind of just said, I see this need and I want to move forward with it. And what he has done is he has, with the help of some other gentlemen who have been part of Compassion Delivered, they meet once a month, these gentlemen. There's no girls allowed, no women allowed, so I can't attend. No. But they meet once a month on a Saturday at 8:00 in the morning, and they have breakfast, and it's an opportunity for them to talk about it. They get to basically say, I'm having a rough day, and everybody gets it, and they don't need to discuss it. Because guys don't necessarily like to share their feelings. And so, they don't need to talk about it like you and I usually need to process a lot of things. And so, but it also is a way for these guys to not only support one another, but gain friendships and volunteer together. And they might go to a baseball game together, or go golfing, or grab a cup of coffee later. So it's just giving them something else that somebody else gets it, and
communicate without words. Yeah, you can
Absolutely.
hang, do guy things.
That's right.
And share that time without having to come up with a lot of words or talk about your feelings.
Right.
Yeah. I always look at the end of when a school has lost the big game. What are the cheerleaders doing? They're all hugging each other, crying, consoling one another. What are the guys doing? They are off on their own.
Exactly. Yep. I need the space.
Yes.
Don't ask me how I'm feeling. Don't talk to me. And so this really is the next step. We pretty much have seen that we will stay in the lives of the families after somebody has passed away for about 13 months, but I actually see it probably being longer than that now. But this just gives another resource for our families to have somebody else to kind of come and talk to, and they don't feel like they have to, divulge too much information.
Right. As much as you want. How do people recommend people for that, or how do people say, this sounds like something I might need?
Sure, absolutely. So best way to do that is to give us a call, which is 330-575-0996. And then what I would do is I would get them connected with Andrew, who is the gentleman who leads the support group, and he's able to get them on the email list or the phone call list, and then they're able to get that all set up. And so it is, originally it started for just Compassion Delivered families, but now we really have seen that it's a need outside of just our own, group of families. And so we are welcoming, gentlemen. So if you have, lost somebody in your life and you just want a group of guys to hang out with, and they're all ages, and it does not matter what loss you had, you can just come right alongside, and just be a part of this group.
That is great, because grief comes in many forms, shapes, sizes, colors, flavors.
Absolutely.
So
and you never get over it. That's, I was in the camp prior to starting Compassion Delivered that, grief was only for a time, and then you were over it. And what I realized is that was wrong of me to ever feel that way or say that, but grief is forever, and it manifests itself in different forms of your life, in the beginning, and then it could be good for a while, and then it can come back. And so, we want to make sure that we're very aware and very, giving them the support that they need, no matter what stage they're in.
What else in the future plans do you have?
Oh, well, for sure helping more individuals here in our community, because I think last time I was here, I shared a number, and in 2016 there were 2,200 people in Stark County alone that could benefit, and we know that since then that number has probably doubled or gotten larger than it was, and that just shows that we need to continue to help more people. But we're quickly running out of space, and so for us, it's looking to the future, the next 5 years, that we want a forever home. We want a kitchen that's going to allow us to provide more meals, more of the custom meals, but also have a space that allows us to do a little bit more of the support groups, the caregiving groups, volunteer opportunities, ways that the community can get involved, just here in our own area. So our future is bright, and we're super excited to see what it looks like. So,
any thought of franchising this? Because it seems to me that what you've got is a perfect template for any community.
Absolutely. We have talked about it, but honestly, you have to have a heart to want to do this. And, we will share, we're super transparent that, we've done this. Everybody is a volunteer, including the founders. And so, you've got to have a passion and a heart for people, because this is hard. A lot of people just like, oh, you just deliver a meal and you go away. No, it's not. It's loving on somebody. It's walking with them in the good times, the bad times, and being the shoulder to cry on, and being a support. And so you have to have a heart to do it. But there's communities all around us that could benefit. But you just have to have the right kind of connection people. And we're always happy to share. And we do get phone calls from different communities asking how we've done it. And we're happy to share how we do it. So.
Well, if you want to volunteer with these wonderful people, I know they will not say, no, sorry, we can't use you. They'll find a place.
We will find a place for you, I promise.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Just go to compassiondelivered.org. Have I said that correctly?
You're correct.
Compassiondelivered.org, or give Amanda a call, 330-575-0996. It's Compassion Delivered. Amanda Ann Schutz, thank you so much for all you do in our community.
I appreciate it.